She was too small for the world to be that cruel. A tiny girl, maybe 9 or 10, her hair tangled, her jacket 2 sizes too small, crouched behind a grocery store dumpster under the pale morning light. She rummaged quietly, her fingers trembling as she lifted a bruised apple from a torn trash bag and wiped it on her sleeve. Then she heard laughter. Harsh, cold, echoing across the parking lot. "Look at that," said a man's voice. "Kids these days will do anything for attention." The girl froze, clutching the apple like it was gold. The man who laughed was sitting inside a gleaming black SUV, window rolled down, sipping from a coffee cup that probably cost more than her entire week's food. His name was Ethan Cole, a 42-year-old CEO who owned the supermarket chain. He had slick brown hair, a designer coat, and the kind of smile that never reached his eyes. Beside him sat his teenage daughter, Chloe, scrolling her phone. "Dad," she muttered. "That's not funny," Ethan smirked. "Relax. If her parents cared, she wouldn't be digging through trash." Chloe looked out the window again, guilt flickering across her face as the little girl took a desperate bite of the bruised fruit. The child's name was Ava, though no one there knew that yet. A week earlier, Ava and her mother had been evicted. Her mom worked 2 jobs until a layoff took them both off balance. When her mother got sick, Ava learned to fend for herself. She came to this same dumpster each morning, hoping to find something, anything, edible. That day, though, something inside Chloe snapped. "Dad, stop the car," she said suddenly. "What?" Ethan frowned. "I said stop the car." Her voice shook. "I'm getting out." Before he could argue, she pushed the door open and stepped into the cold. She approached Ava carefully, the smell of spoiled food hanging in the air. "Hey, are you okay?" Chloe asked softly. Ava stiffened, ready to run. "I'm fine," she whispered, hiding the apple behind her back. Chloe hesitated. "I'm not here to hurt you. Do you need food?" Ava didn't answer, but her eyes said everything. From the SUV, Ethan groaned. "Chloe, get back in the car." "You don't know that, kid." She turned toward him, face flushed. "Exactly, Dad. You don't either." It was the first time anyone had ever spoken to him like that, especially his own daughter. Ethan's pride kicked in. "You think the world's your charity project? That girl's someone else's problem." "No," Chloe said, her voice breaking. "She's yours. You own this store. The food she's eating came from your trash." For a second, even Ethan didn't have a comeback. Later that night, Ethan couldn't shake the image. A small girl eating from garbage while he'd laughed. He sat alone in his mansion, surrounded by polished marble and expensive silence, yet he felt hollow. He tried to work, but every click of his laptop reminded him of that child's eyes, wide, afraid, hungry. He poured himself a drink, then stopped mid-pour. He remembered something, a winter long ago, when he was the one digging through trash after his father's business collapsed. His mom used to say, "Never forget where you came from." He had. The next morning, Ethan drove back to the same parking lot. No cameras, no entourage, just him. He found the girl again, same place, same jacket. When Ava saw him, she froze. He knelt down slowly and held out a paper bag. "There's a sandwich inside," he said gently, "and some fruit." "It's fresh." She looked suspicious. "Why?" He hesitated. "Because I was wrong to laugh." Ava stared at him for a moment, then took the bag carefully, like it might vanish. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded. "What's your name?" "Ava." He smiled faintly. "That's a strong name." From that day on, Ethan came every morning. Not as a CEO, but as a man trying to make something right. He learned Ava's mother was in the hospital, struggling to afford treatment. He quietly covered the bills, anonymously, and set up a small trust fund for Ava's education. 2 weeks later, Chloe joined him at the soup kitchen he funded downtown. "You're really doing this?" she asked. He nodded. "I should have done it a long time ago." That night, a news story went viral. A bystander had filmed Ethan helping the girl. But unlike the usual corporate PR stunt, this time his tears looked real. The caption read, "The CEO who laughed and then changed everything." Months later, Ava's mother recovered. She and Ava moved into a small apartment paid for by the foundation Ethan created, the Second Chance program. One afternoon, Ava walked into the supermarket again, but this time through the front doors. Clean, smiling, holding a small thank you card she'd made. Ethan bent down as she handed it to him. It read, "For remembering where you came from." He smiled through tears. "No, Ava," he said softly. "For reminding me